This is the Snake Eyes that is the one for the desert battle, but it actually was originally going to be the Arctic battle, and he would have came with this auger right here, this drill. So this would have actually been Snake Eyes' weapon, and he would have came with Timber, the wolf, so it definitely fits for Arctic. And he wouldn't have been all black. They would have actually added some blue to him, but instead Destro ended up getting this auger, or maybe both of them would have came with it. So I don't know if it makes more sense to have it with a G.I. Joe figure or a Cobra figure. In my opinion, I think it makes more sense with Destro, because the idea with Destro is, if you're following my universe with Cobra, you know, I've got thoughts back to the Pyramid of Darkness, and anytime they're the mass device, anytime they're trying to build something, they always need environmental objects, you know, materials. And so I could totally see that the reason why they're going to the Arctic is that they found some material that they need that's going to make the secret weapon that they're making more powerful, and so he's drilling for it. Or another thing I'm going to try and put a link to, you'll have to type it into your address bar or something, but there's a commercial where, unless I can find it on YouTube, there's a commercial from the 90s where Duke is in a submarine and he's being attacked by the rat. And I can totally see that kind of thing happening, you know, with armor, or, you know, maybe Destro gets in a fight with somebody and he uses this auger, not only, you know, when he's trying to find the materials or whatever, but could you picture if Snake Eyes or Duke or somebody came up and, you know, he's busy doing this, and then he sees one of the G.I. Joes, and then, you know, as a crude weapon, he just uses this and starts trying to go after Snake Eyes. So those are two different thoughts that I thought of, was materials, or he's using it as a weapon, or maybe even give it to the snow serpents. And after they use their ice cutters to do what it can with the ice cutter to destroy the ice and everything, then it's up to them to go in there and, you know, the building of the headquarters or whatever other duty that they've been given. The same as Destro can do with his auger as a crude weapon. You could also say that the two ice picks that he comes with, he uses those as a crude weapon, and here he goes sneaking up on White out without him knowing. So definitely cool to have the two ice picks too. You know, one just, you know, wouldn't really do it, but two really makes it feel like it's supposed to be the type of weapon, or maybe that's how he makes his escape. Or, you know, some more diorama pieces. I'm not going to be against that. It's definitely cool. And the other thought too is, if Destro was going to come with some Arctic equipment, what other kind of equipment would he come with? I think the selection that he came with is perfect. Not too little and not too much. Some connections that we can make between the Wave 2 Destro, the Wave 2 Jungle Viper, and even the Wave 3 Shock Trooper are: Destro has these bars or hydraulics, or maybe even before I knew this, I thought it was part of the electronics, or maybe something of his armor, you know, that helped him stabilize himself when he's walking across ice. But the real reason that I was able to find is that it's just like the Jungle Viper here. He has these bars on his forearms, and the Shock Trooper doesn't have anything on his lower legs, nothing on his forearms, but he has this loop back here. And the idea is that if they're not injured yet, is the Shock Trooper would go through to breach a door, and somebody would hold on to this part just in case he started getting fired at and somebody could pull him away. Now I'm thinking the same thing is with these bars on the forearms of the Jungle Viper, and the same thing with Destro. I don't know if it just has to do with they wanted to keep the look of the figure, or if it's another reason. So if anyone else has been able to find out more about this, why is it that he's got him on his lower legs, the Jungle Viper has him on his forearms, and then of course the Cobra Shock Trooper has nothing, but he does have the more realistic loop right here. The other idea that I had, since I have some other guys to bring in, if you're okay mixing your universes and your mythos and even your figures, and you're a fan of this figure right here, he actually has a hook right here, and my thought was that he could, if he's trying to extract somebody, he would unloop his hook here, and he would be able to grab onto Destro's bars right here, and he would be able to pull him to safety. Not sure if it's going to work on these much smaller bars here. Nope, doesn't work on this one right here. But at least for Destro, it works a little bit, and then especially for the Cobra Shock Trooper here, you can get him hooked pretty well. Now I am going to show a link probably right here, and I'll probably put it in the description as well, and these will stay up as long as I don't have any issues or have any problems with them. But I'm kind of doing this disclaimer because I don't have any connection with the video that I'm going to link to, but it was the only thing I was able to find that if you want to learn a little bit more about it, I'm not sure if it's actually been used by the military yet, but it's for extracting somebody that's been injured. So if your fellow Cobra is injured, the idea is that, just like with this one, so that you wouldn't have to get in the line of fire, this would go out to the injured soldier, and then you would pull the injured figure this way. So that way, if he gets shot, you know, not good of course, but you don't risk being shot because you can keep pulling him from a safe distance.